For me, it's with Jayden Daniels, it's like a star wasn't born last night because he was already a star, but he is now the brightest light that we have coming out of Washington, D.C., and that includes anyone who becomes the President of the United States.
If C.J. Stroud put rookie year success out of this world, then Jayden Daniels has changed it to an entirely different universe.
And they're watching, he's doing all this crazy stuff. He said, man, he looks just like Lamar Jackson, and you were spot on.
I'm going to go a little bit older school on you. I'm going to say Joe Montana.
When a rookie quarterback starts lighting it up in the NFL right away, a lot of people are going to have a lot of opinions. Jayden Daniels has built quite a reputation for himself in his young career so far, firing the Washington Commanders into the NFL playoffs in his very first year as a pro. Several high-profile talents have had some wild things to say about Daniels already early into his career, while others have seen it from a slightly different point of view. And in today's video, we're going to go over several different times that coaches, players, and even analysts tried to tear down Jayden Daniels, and hell, he even made me my own words earlier this year. And even at the end of the video, we're going to reveal exactly what Lamar Jackson thinks about Jayden Daniels' career so far, because this is exactly what NFL players really think about Jayden Daniels. Now, coming into the league, many scouts and analysts, and hell, even myself, had plenty to say about Daniels and what was expected of him at the NFL level. He drew plenty of comparisons to the likes of Lamar Jackson and was, of course, closely compared to Caleb Williams as the deliberation over the #1 pick went on. Bleacher Report's scouting department released their thoughts prior to the draft, with notes reading, he had elite athleticism, excellent burst, agility, and speed for the position, and good ability to create. He was a dangerous runner with sparse flashes of creativity as a thrower outside the pocket, very good deep ball accuracy, and consistently drops it in the bucket. And well, as we all know, the Washington Commanders were in love with him, and according to reports from the new look front office and coaching staff, they'd have gladly taken him at #1 had they had the chance. Instead, they had to play the waiting game, sit back, and allow Chicago to make what they believed to be a huge mistake. The moment they drafted Caleb Williams, celebrations erupted within the Commanders' war room, knowing it had played out exactly the way they'd hoped it would. GM Adam Peters, who learned what it meant to build a winning program under John Lynch in San Francisco, bet his career on Daniels when he drafted him. And I mean, he never blinked either, thrilled to talk about the decision in the following press conference.
Oh, why Jayden? Why not Jayden? Jayden, he's to us, he's special in every way. On the field, off the field. I talked to him a couple times and I told him kind of what I told you guys the other day. Didn't really watch a lot of the quarterbacks hard during the season, being with the 49ers, and then I turned on Jayden for the first time here, and I couldn't believe it. I honestly couldn't believe how good he was. So we felt so good about how awesome of a person that he was on top of watching all that tape. So, it was really, it made us feel really, really good about making this pick. And if we could have run it up, we would have run that pick up. We waited a little while because I think they tell us to do that. But
finally, the Commanders had what they felt was a blue chip talent to lead this franchise. And I mean, many people really just expected them to not perform so early on, but this team and just the locker room in general understood what they had in their hands with Jayden Daniels and went to work. The level of experience that Jayden had was paramount. A 5-year starter in college between his time with Arizona State and LSU, who emerged as one of the best talents available in his final year of college. Few have been closer to the carousel of quarterbacks in Washington than the cornerstone of the roster, Terry McLaurin. As we all know, he's been there for 5 years prior to Jayden Daniels' arrival, catching passes from no less than 12 quarterbacks in that time. And as crazy as it sounds too, he has maintained a 1,000-yard receiving season in 4 straight years as one of the most consistent pass catchers in the league over that span. Jayden Daniels' arrival made it 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons for McLaurin, who had some insane praise for him following the game-winning drive against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Man, he's so poised. No matter if we're making plays or we're missing plays, he just has a way to stay even keel that I've never seen that from a rookie at any position, let alone quarterback. And he has utmost confidence in the guys around him. And he has a way of just making the right plays when it's time, you know what I mean? And you can't teach that. And I feel like his ability to continue to get better each and every week, learn from his mistakes, is why I feel like he has a chance to be one of the great ones.
Terry McLaurin has been praising Daniels all year, from the way he handles himself to the way he prepares and practices. I mean, even when talking about just how impressive he'd be behind the scenes too, he went on to say, then you get into the game, you see him get better each and every week. I think that's a testament to his experience that he had in college, but also the preparation he puts in. That dude works so hard, he is always prepared. I mean, hell, Bengals superstar Joe Burrow even echoed these comments when he reached out to Jayden Daniels prior to the Heisman Trophy ceremony in his final year at LSU.
Jayden, it's Joe. Just wanted to send you a note of congratulations from one Tiger to another. Congrats on an incredible career, congrats on an incredible season, and congrats on being named a Heisman finalist. It's nothing but respect for the way you work, the way you play, and the way you represent LSU. Can't wait to watch you on Sundays. Until then, keep being you.
As we all know, Burrow won the Heisman in the same year he claimed the national championship with the Tigers in what was one of the most explosive seasons college football had ever seen. So I mean, for Burrow to recognize Daniels' commitment to greatness is quite something. Now, of course, Jayden Daniels, as we all know, did go on to win that Heisman and just about every other major award on offer in 2023, giving LSU fans the best season they'd had since Burrow had been there in 2019. The Commanders rookie threw 40 touchdowns in his final year in the purple and gold, the majority of which landed with Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. Daniels' talent at the quarterback position allowed both of these guys to showcase their own abilities, and just as Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson did having featured with Joe Burrow, both Neighbors and Brian Thomas went on to become first-round draft picks. Malik Neighbors was drafted 6th overall as the second receiver off of the board behind Marvin Harrison Jr. and showed a lot of respect when asked about his college quarterback. In a press conference with the Giants, he said that without him, I probably wouldn't be here right now. So having that guy as my quarterback, it took a lot of stress off of me. I took a lot of stress off of him too by getting open. Of course, in college, Neighbors knew Daniel was a great leader when he commented on it countless times while giving a nod to their shared chemistry on the field.
A leader, especially between me and him. Jayden is a tremendous leader, a tremendous, player on the football field, and me and him, when we're out there on the football field, it's like secondhand in nature. I know what he's doing, he knows what I'm doing, so it creates that mentality when we're on the field. We already know each other, so, he knows when to give me the ball, he knows after the catch I'm going to do tremendous things with it, and he knows, 9 times out of 10 I'm always open.
I mean, honestly, all the praise that he has received from his coaches, teammates, and just anybody that has been playing with Jayden Daniels at some point in his career, they've only been proven more valid as the 2024 season has gone on further and further. Following the miracle win over the Chicago Bears, in which Jayden Daniels scrambled around in the backfield before launching a Hail Mary down the field for Noah Brown, the praise came pouring in once again. It was the first time Jayden had met the first overall pick Caleb Williams in their pro careers, and it was Daniels who came out on top at the end in what was easily considered one of the most astounding plays of the 2024 season. Even Tony Romo in the clip I'm about to show literally struggled to try and get words out of his mouth after that play had happened and realizing what Jayden Daniels had just accomplished with that pass.
Let the legend grow. It continues. And, you saw that with Tiger Woods when he was young. His dad told him, let the legend grow. Well, this is part of it. It has a little Mahomes-esque feel to it to me where you don't really think he's ever out of the game. He had to overcome a lot in the Baltimore game. They lost. But every time it was like, okay, they're done, he would make something on a really 3rd and long or a 4th down and just extend it and give this team a chance. And even there, I'm telling you, that hurt on that throw for him to get the ball down the field there. But he said it, yesterday when we talked to him, he goes, I don't know if I should say it, but he says adrenaline is a really powerful drug, and I think the adrenaline was kicking there for him to get it down the field.
We learned later that Daniels was nursing a rib injury that knocked him out of the game against Carolina, but he battled through it, and Romo couldn't praise him enough. And now, look, Romo is far from being alone in that camp too. Matt Ryan knows Commanders head coach Dan Quinn well, and the two went to the Super Bowl together in Atlanta, and Quinn was the head coach of the football team when Matt Ryan was named the NFL MVP in 2016. They did great things together, and Matt Ryan has connected with Quinn during this season to talk about Daniels, and in an interview with Fox, Ryan even said this.
Biggest thing I see when I watch him is that, like you mentioned the turnovers yesterday, he has the late interception, but then goes right back down the field. and just doesn't hesitate to go out there and make plays. He's got incredible poise. I think he's comfortable in the high pressure situations. You know, we talked to Dan Quinn earlier in the year, and he was telling us about one of the situations early in the season. They're getting ready for a 2-minute, drive, and he goes up to Jayden. Jayden's sitting there smiling. Dan's like, man, he was more prepared, more ready for it than I was, right? He was more calm in that situation than I was.
I mean, for a rookie to have that much poise, maturity, and control just shows the importance and the value in having that experience coming out of college. Like, I mean, for a former NFL MVP and a Super Bowl playing quarterback at 1.2, to talk about Jayden Daniels that way, simply put, that's just special. And I mean, Jayden Daniels is impressing even more people around the league by the way he's carrying himself in Washington as well. In that battle with the Baltimore Ravens that Matt Ryan did mention, a game that Jayden Daniels did lose, the Ravens respected the young quarterback, and their own quarterback, the two-time MVP in Lamar Jackson, is one of the guys Jayden Daniels has been so closely compared to throughout his career so far. And even himself, Lamar Jackson, firmly believes that what he's seeing out of the Commanders' rookie quarterback is the real deal.
Yeah, I've been catching glimpses of his play on social media and stuff like that, and he's going off. He doing what we seen in college. What got him the Heisman, no doubt.
But Lamar Jackson doesn't have to try and read or play against Daniels himself. It's not his job to recognize the runner pass or slow Daniels down when he decides to scramble. Instead, four-time All-Pro linebacker Roquan Smith, one of the toughest guys in the game and a leader of that Ravens defense, knows exactly what it's like. Like, I mean, this dude, Jayden Daniels, is honestly just earning the respect of so many people around the league. It's absolutely insane. And to do it in his rookie year makes it that much crazier. Like, I mean, Roquan Smith is one of the best linebackers Baltimore has seen since Ray Lewis. He doesn't give you a single inch without you earning it, and the whole defense plays around him. Like, there's a reason they traded for him and paid him, and he certainly doesn't hand out praise to opposing quarterbacks without them having to earn it. Not only that too, but Aaron Rodgers has been a firm supporter of Jayden Daniels too this season, giving him flowers multiple times while appearing on the Pat McAfee show.
Why Daniels played so good last night, it wasn't like everything was off schedule. It was him making plays from the pocket.
Touchdown to Terry, last one. I mean,
that was awesome. And he knew there was pressure, and he knew how to get it up, and they had a beautiful stop and go on the outside. They're in a zero coverage here. He knows there's one extra guy. He knows where he's going with the ball. He throws an absolute dime. It's really hard you got a guy barreling down on you. You got to put enough air on Terry on that ball so he can stutter go. And then you got to expect where he's going to be when he transitions out of this. I mean, he's throwing the ball as Terry is stuttering. It's an incredible play.
And he's not the only quarterback that's been praising Jayden Daniels this season. Now, my Commander fans, you guys will know who I'd be talking about right now. Simply put, everybody knows who I'm talking about right now because we haven't seen this good of a rookie quarterback from the, almost said the R word, from the Washington Commanders since RG3. Like, as we all know, Robert Griffin III, who was once upon a time set to be the knight in shining armor for the Commanders, firmly believes they've found their guy in Jayden Daniels. On the Dan Patrick show, he compared Daniels to, well, the President of the United States.
For me, it's with Jayden Daniels, it's like a star wasn't born last night because he was already a star, but he is now the brightest light that we have coming out of Washington, D.C., and that includes anyone who becomes the President of the United States.
He then went on to say in a tweet that Jayden Daniels gives Washington, D.C. hope they haven't had in over a decade. On primetime TV, he showed that he can lead not just a team, but an entire city for the foreseeable future. #raise hail. I mean, few have been more expressive on social media than RG3 when it comes to Jayden Daniels this season, with one of his most recent tweets simply just reading, "Jayden Daniels is your NFL Rookie of the Year, period, end of story." Like, unsurprisingly, that came after the 5-touchdown comeback performance against the rival Eagles in Week 16, and Jayden Daniels might not be done yet. Like, I mean, this dude's potential in the NFL has absolutely no bounds. He's landed in the perfect circumstances in Washington with a head coach that was biding his time, waiting for the perfect opportunity to get back into the driver's seat. And after coming agonizingly close in his time in Atlanta, Dan Quinn worked in the shadows in Dallas, turning down multiple opportunities before stepping back into the limelight in Washington. Now paired with Jayden Daniels in the play calling of Cliff Kingsbury working so closely with him in the offense, the Commanders are absolutely all in. They traded for Marshawn Latigo before the deadline closed. They're headed to the playoffs, and for many seasons to come, this might be a franchise that suddenly belongs in the Super Bowl conversation. And the craziest part too is this is only the beginning.